Okay. I guess I'm doing it right. So yeah, I'm going to do a show tonight. But if you're around, hop on. It's just talking about whatever. It's like a throwaway show to talk about whatever
Call in. Okay.
topic.
Is it? I'm overseas, so if it's phone, then I probably
Oh,
won't call in. But if it's, and that's my only limitation. And
what what time are you? Wait, is it,
oh, I'm about an hour behind you guys. It's only an hour difference.
time are you? Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. Okay, we on. I just need to make sure. I hope people do show up.
Yeah.
I really have to get this channel like going. I really have to get it going. So I don't know. Even if it's not, I can still chop it up and upload because that's all I've been doing on this channel is upload. I probably did like one live, but anyway, hi Kevin. What happened to your light, honey? You were just
So where I am, I got my window open, so I can kind of fix that and just get my light
oh
squared away.
oh no.
Because yeah, see, because it's the sun going in and out. That's all
Oh,
it is. I can't
okay.
control. Yeah, it's the sun and the clouds and the movement, and I can't control that. So my
Oh,
lighting is gonna fade. It's gonna be. I have it so you see it's good right now, right? And it's gonna go back and forth. It just kind
oh,
of does
okay.
that.
How
My
are you?
the way I have my office set up, the window is brings in that a lot of that ambient light, and then it takes it away when the clouds come over.
How are you?
Doing fine, doing fine. Pretty good week so far. Did a lot during the week. Didn't get a chance to, study and prep the way I really wanted to. So, but hopefully we'll still get some good conversation. And like I said, one of the, your African folks will come up and kind of add to the commentary. This
Mm-hmm.
is a really great and wonderful World Cup. It's very interesting. There's a lot of things that have happened differently than what I've seen in the last 3 to 4 World Cups.
It's a
And
lot of,
understand,
I
huh?
think it's a lot I think it's more so upsets. It's a lot of upsets. Mexico is out,
Yeah.
Germany is out, Ghana is about to be or Ghana is out. First of all, Ghana just played horrible this World Cup. Portugal, they're well, are they out because they lost today? South Korea, I know they're definitely
Well, if that's still group play, there's a chance they still might go through. And let me see if they made the round of 16.
Oh yeah, check that. Let's see. That should be a bracket or something. Oh yeah, knockout bracket. Let's go to that. Hi guys. So this is we have arrived F1, which is really Formula One, but Formula One season is over and now it's the World Cup. So I'm doing a live on this channel because I'm never on this channel. I have not uploaded content in months, and which is so sad. So this is the little train that can. Um, so yes, welcome the two people that are watching. I definitely have to. I gotta push this channel more and more and more. Kevin is back with me. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Morocco, Spain, France, Poland, England, Senegal. Oh my God, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Japan, blah blah blah. Did they even update it? They didn't update it yet. So it's 4 more slots left.
Yeah. That's what I'm still looking at. 4 more slots. And yeah. So I can't remember, based off Portugal's group play, whether or not they're going to go through.
Let's see. Should we go scores, standings?
Yeah.
I want to get to the group. Schedule, teams, transfer. Um, okay, yeah. Let's see over here.
Yeah. It's very hard to track. Um,
Okay, so Portugal, Ghana, South Korea, Uruguay. Okay, so Portugal, I think, is already through because they were at the top, even though they lost today and they did get 1 point. Ghana lost. So are
yeah.
they still through? I'm confused. And then South Korea,
Well,
they
so
won.
you gotta look at the you can still lose and still make it. Look, here's it. Bottom line, if you got to think about it like this, you got to win one game, lose one. You can lose one game. You have to absolutely win one. You can lose one, and you have to absolutely draw. And then that's where it starts to get into points, number of points, and then point differential, and then fair play, and then there's like 6 tiebreakers in order to actually get to the groups to get out of the group stage if people are very close. You know that, right? I don't know all of them, but there's 6. There's 6 ways to determine uh, if you go past the number of points, and if you go past the point differential, and then you go past fair play. There's 3 other ways to determine how to get out of the group play, and then that's the same thing as it relates to the World Cup. Till you
Oh,
get to the elimination round.
oh. Well, okay. Coming up at 2 is Cameroon and Brazil. First of all, I didn't like the way Brazil played their last game. They're too lackadaisy. They're living off of Brazil's history,
Reputation
reputation.
and expectations, and
Right. And it's
basically
no, they haven't won a World Cup since the 80s.
well, no, they won the last one's like 2000 something.
Oh, that's right.
Their last World Cup was 2000. The last one they got was in 2000 something. I got to look it up, but yeah,
But
I mean, so we're talking, yeah.
so listen, I'm not counting out Cameroon because the question is, can an African team win a World Cup? I think so. I'm not counting out Cameroon. And then at the same time, you have Serbia and Switzerland. I'm rooting for Switzerland because Brazil and Switzerland played. Brazil only got 1 goal, so it was 1-0. Switzerland is a good team.
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for Switzerland. I'm gonna go with Cameroon because I'm just
With
disappointed with
Brazil.
huh?
Okay, so we're talking about now. I gotta look at the injury report. Is Neymar starting? Is he playing?
I think he's not because they said for the next 2 games he wasn't.
Okay, and that's so if Neymar's not playing, they're not going to risk playing him when they know that they could probably beat Cameroon without him, and they should be able to beat Cameroon without him. But they cannot be playing in a way that's lackadaisical to the extent that it might cost them, moving forward.
That's what I'm saying. So let's see, what is this?
And by the way, win or lose, I believe they go to and understand this. Let's look at the graphics. Win or lose, they're already in the round of 16 anyway.
Okay, wait, 1 second. Let me play this.
Historicamente na seleção brasileira, sempre alguém teve que pagar a conta.
At Brazil's national team, historically, someone had to carry the burden. Now it's up to me because the players are starters, the biggest clubs in Europe.
Não sou, então.
If I was at Brazil, I would hardly get questioned.
Dificilmente esse debate estaria acontecendo nesse momento. Só que como eu não estou, né, então...
Think they the ones who questioned him, made a mistake, or why am I here?
Eles erraram, porque eles foram colocar na conta de quem mais, eu acho que tem argumentos para pagar isso. Então,
okay, so basically he's like, listen, because it's Brazil or whatever, I'm getting asked questions, but I was in some European team, blah, blah, blah. First of all, I don't like Portuguese. The language is not that sexy. But anyway, Neymar is not playing because, I did read that last time that he was not going to play. Cameroon, how did they do? And will they win if will they go to the knockout stage if they win?
Probably not. They played well enough to, get some respect. But as far as, getting to the
3. Okay, they're sitting here at 3 with 1 point. So they will have to win today. And Serbia will have to win to push to knock out Switzerland to go. So right now is Brazil and Switzerland. So if Cameroon wins and Switzerland lose, Cameroon may go, depending on how many goals they get.
Yeah. I'm trying to find that. Okay. A lot of stuff is coming up, and it's not the stuff I want to see.
In Ghana, they would have, but see, South Korea won. So I'm wondering, Uruguay and Ghana, are they out? Because South Korea.
No, Uruguay is actually in. Look, you got to go to the round of 16.
Yeah, did they update it?
No, but there's teams that already, so only 4 spots are missing. So once those games get completed, it's just that I don't have the.
So if it's
I don't have the point differential in my mind. So there you go. You got the. I'm on the wrong graphic. That's where I am.
Right, it's 4 spots, right? And
yeah. So these are the people that already qualified. That last graphic you had up, that's around the 16.
So
they're already there.
Wait. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it must be the. So is the winners of these 4 teams today? Is 4 spots?
Yeah.
And it's determined from these 4 teams, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So
Uruguay. So there you go.
South Korea. So is Portugal still through?
Well, you got to look at the points that they got overall, and they played well enough to be respectable. But I mean, I can't recall right off the top of my head the point differential. I know you're trying to focus on the African teams today.
I'm trying to get the latest update right now. Wait a minute.
Yeah, the way they have this set up is kind of.
They're not putting the like flashing the updates.
No.
Like they're not updating this quick enough to like after each per game. Like maybe they have to wait till the other games finish or something.
Yeah.
Portugal and Korea or through. Okay. Thank you, man.
Somebody's confirmed that in the chat.
Yes. How about what if I did put I'm gonna put the StreamYard links. Let's see. Invite. Let's see, copy. Because I'm like, I'm trying to get comfortable using StreamYards now. Let's see, please. Yeah, so I'll put the StreamYards if man or anyone. It's like 3 people, it's 2 people now listening. So yeah, so okay, so Portugal and Korea are through. So then now it's between Brazil, Cameroon, Switzerland, or Serbia, right? So it's 2 more spots left. So
Yeah.
I have a feeling Brazil is one of them. And maybe Switzerland. So I think the other spot is up for grabs, possibly. So wait, let me share this then. Wait a minute. I want to share this screen because I want to get into the conversation of the African teams. Knockout bracket. So okay, Netherlands I think the Netherlands going to beat the United States tomorrow. Argentina, Australia. I think Argentina is going to beat Australia because they're starting.
Yeah, they should beat Australia.
Yeah. Japan, Croatia. Ooh, I'm going with Japan.
Croatia could be an upstart here, but Japan has actually been playing very well. Now, I understand that Japan did lose a game, and they were like, "Hey, what happened, Japan? Your momentum was great. Now you're slacking off a bit." People have this. People really don't understand, I guess, how hard it is to actually win these games. They think if you win the last game, you just need to keep winning and winning and winning until you actually get beat. They don't think you can win, lose, and then get a tie and then still be viable and possibly win a World Cup. And you probably can't. But there's just a lot of expectation. If you're winning, then somehow you can't have a bad game. And I'll just say there's been a lot of surprises in this World Cup.
All right, so Korea is through and well deserved. So 1G. So I guess it's whoever wins 1G. Who is that 1G? Okay.
So Group 1G is groups. Group G is Brazil, Switzerland, Cameroon, and Serbia.
Okay, so then someone from there. Now, this is going to be good tomorrow. England, Senegal. I'm watching this because I'm rooting for Senegal. I want Senegal to win the World Cup. I'm in love with Senegal. That's my favorite team, Senegal.
Okay, so and I love you for that, but you understand they're probably not going to win.
Why? Because first of all, England couldn't even beat the United States.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
The Senegal team is better than the United States, so Senegal has a big chance. Play with me.
Again, let's go back to the groupings. Senegal is they're not in group. They're not in Group B with the United States, so we don't know that they didn't play them.
No. I'm just saying that looking at the teams. Yeah. Senegal is a better team than the United States. So, and if England couldn't beat the United States, and England is England, their reputation is better than the United States as far as soccer, then Senegal has a chance. I'm not.
They do have a chance. I just
listen.
They could probably there's a chance they could beat the team that they play.
Who was
for
the
the
last
next game.
team that we played? I want to join the stream, but I'm still at work. 7 p.m. Oh, you in Zambia? I love that.
Yeah.
I want to go to
Yeah,
Zambia.
yeah. So the African guys, they're going to know this a whole lot better than me. They're going to know it down to the players, probably the coaches and managers and everything else. Um,
You know
I'm
what?
kind of
I'm
following the
probably
whole thing
yeah.
overall.
Listen, you know what? I probably going forward. I'm probably gonna have to just do a live stream on the Real Dana and just do uploads on this one. I think that's what's gonna have to happen. Um, yeah, but I'm sorry, but first of all, I'm not sleeping on Senegal.
Senegal?
How can I make this bigger though? I don't know. But
Well, you can kind of see the flags. You can see the names. That's good.
yeah. Okay, so if Senegal was playing France, that's a good one. So
Yeah,
now,
that's going to be a good one. I would like to see that matchup.
yeah. So listen,
Essentially, Africa's versus you consider them an African team, right? You consider the French an African team.
exactly. France colonized Senegal because they speak French in Senegal.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's crazy because but majority of the religion there is Muslim. So you talk about the Moors before the French came, and
Yeah.
then when the French came, then that's why they speak French. So France is playing Poland. I think France is gonna beat Poland. But again, I don't
Yeah,
sleep.
the France should beat Poland. They're actually favored, and France has a very strong team. They're very strong, by the way.
Yeah. Mbappe, oh my God, he is the shining star of the World Cup. All right, so again, I'm stuck on Senegal. That's my favorite. Senegal and France is my favorite this World Cup, and it's a damn shame because I would love to see France and Senegal in the final, but that's not going to happen. But England, you're going for England. I'm going for Senegal. I'm going for France. Who you going for?
Yeah. You talking about overall
In the game,
or
in
just for these games?
the game.
Oh, for France and Poland, it's going to be France. France is playing well enough to actually beat Poland.
And Morocco, Spain. I'm going with the other African team, Morocco.
Really? That's an interesting choice. I would have to look at Spain because they're just Spain's had a really good start. They've been playing steady the whole time, and Morocco again. You can look at them as an upstart, but at the same time, they just haven't been able to make that final push. But yeah, Spain's going to win that game. That's my
Man
prediction.
Musa says English team are stacked, but they're chokers, and their coach is dusty. Fingers crossed for Senegal. We need belief, luck, and all. Actually, I could look in the chat here.
Their coach is very well. Their coach is very well respected across the world, and I forget his name, but yeah. I mean, I don't know what he means by that. I mean, if he could kind of clarify that a bit, because look, so when you have a European team, a U.S. team, they do pay money to go out and find the best coaches that their money can buy, and they can afford, with some level of allegiance to the actual team and the fact that they want to win. And but yeah, so I gotta they speak very well of him over there in England. Obviously, they're going to, but at the same, because if he were terrible, there's certain places you can't be an incompetent coach.
Right. Oh,
there's no.
They fired Mexico out of here. They fired.
Yeah.
And some other coach got fired during this World Cup, right? Or was it just Mexico's coach?
And I forget. Now, one thing that was very interesting, I saw the news conference from the Iranian coach, and he's very articulate, intelligent. He came off very so he understands the game probably at a level that he can't get his players to play, but he understands the game very well. He's a very not just the game, but the strategy and the overall mission of what it is he's trying to do. But yeah, so he may not be well known, but he was very impressive during that news conference.
Yeah, so me and man Musa, we're on the same page right now. So Morocco, Spain, you know what? Because I love history. So I always like to sometimes look at, especially World Cup from a history perspective, the same with the Olympics. But look, when you look on the map, Morocco, Spain, they're brothers and sisters. When you talk about the Moors, they're
But
right
yeah,
next to each
they
other.
call that region is known as the Maghreb. You know, the Moroccans speak Spanish, by the way. Their primary language is French, but they speak 3 languages.
Right.
Um,
English,
uh,
French, and
Spanish.
Spanish.
Yeah,
Right.
and there's a specific group in the mountains of Morocco that like that's literally their first language.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a specific ethnic group, and I don't know their names. I can't remember them right off the bat, and it's because of the Spanish influence and the control that they had at that time, and so they
Mhm.
still hang on to that. But they do still speak all 3 languages.
Right.
Generally, if you run into a Moroccan, they're going to be able to speak all 3.
So again, I'm going for Morocco though because it's an African team. See, I'm rooting for everything Africa, even though Moroccans, some of them call themselves Arabs,
Well,
but
they're African. They're and they would consider themselves Arab. Again, hopefully somebody can pop up and speak to that a little bit.
right.
I don't like to label anybody. I'll let them self-identify.
Yeah,
But
we
generally,
go.
yes,
We're
that
gonna
entire region. Now, understand they do have black people up in that region, right?
yeah.
But up, across
Even if you look at
from
the team, it's a lot
west
of dark
north
people.
of the Sahara, that region really is known as the Maghreb. And there's and the darker the African tribes, the one that when we think of the ones in the sub-Saharan, they exist up there too.
Mm-hmm,
The Tuareg. Everybody knows about the Tuareg, right?
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
uh, they're up and around that area.
Okay.
So that's where part of those black people come from. They kind
Um,
of migrate in that general direction.
yeah. Okay. And then we have Portugal, and we don't know yet who Portugal is going to be playing. Listen, uh, if it's, I think I want Switzerland. I want Cameroon. If Cameroon could get in there, if they have a chance to get in, I want them to get in. So because right now there's only 2 African teams left, Senegal and Morocco, right? The European teams always dominate the World Cup. Um,
Yeah.
I'm excited about the Asian teams, but because the Europeans always dominate. Brazil, of course, like you said last stream, that it's time for them to win another World Cup. But my favorite is Senegal and is France. Now, if Senegal wins tomorrow and they play against France, and if France beats Poland, who I'm gonna go with? I'm going with black. I'm going with even though both teams, but I'm just going with Senegal as far as demographics. But there's only 2 African teams right now. Hopefully 3.
Yeah.
And yeah, but so the question is, can an African team win a World Cup? Somebody put, and when I posted the thumbnail in my community section in my other channel, and somebody said the same thing that was discussed the other stream, that if those African players that play on European teams play for the African teams, yeah, they have a chance, but they don't. So I get it. It's like if you really need a Mbappe on either Senegal or Ghana, something like
Yeah.
and then Senegal, their star player, he's injured, he's not playing, but you really do need those African players that go over to the European teams to come back for World Cup and play for African country. But somebody, like they said in the last stream, is just so much corruption. You realize like how much sports and politics intertwine, which is
Yeah, absolutely. And it's okay. So it's always been that way. There's been some level of it, but it has really played out in this particular World Cup right from the rip. When Qatar got the host duties, it
yeah.
was political right from the very beginning. And there's been, let me put it to you this way: there's been like at least a half dozen plus incidents of politics as it relates to how this World Cup is playing out. It's always been there, Mexico versus United States, some foreign Arab country versus another Arab country. It's just inter-country rivalries, friendly stuff. And then there's always been some low-level politics in the background. But this one has really, let me put it to you this way: I'd be surprised in the next World Cup if there's not politics generated right from the beginning. And in a lot of ways, it's already started. And I don't want to get off your topic.
Come here to the United States. Yeah, that's gonna.
Oh, it's going to be the politicization is going to be off the charts.
They're going to be. I gotta look at. They're going to be in Mexico. They're going to be in Canada, and it's going to
Mexico, Canada, United States is primary. United States is the primary host, but they're using Canada
United
and
States.
Mexico as so we got Estadio Azteca. So they're going to be in Aztec Stadium over there in Mexico. Playing some games. They're going to be up in I don't know where the stadium is up in Canada, but it's probably going to be I would say either Toronto or Montreal. But at any rate, probably not that way out in Quebec or anything.
What
but
state in the United States is going to be hosting?
Oh, it's going to be. I know it's going to be California.
Really?
Oh yeah, because
New
you're
York
gonna put it out there. You're gonna put it out there in that big stadium.
New York has to be one of them too.
Yeah, California, New York, a few places in the Midwest, Atlanta. Basically all the ones that have done the Olympics.
Yeah, but I'm getting confused because wait a minute, 1 second. That's World Cup for what year? World Cup
2026.
2026.
Yeah.
2026 stadiums. Oh, okay. Let me share this. Because they're going to be all over the place.
Yeah. United States is already looking forward to the next World Cup because that's billions of dollars coming in. We get it.
Okay, so
they're going to be there too.
11, Atlanta at the Mercedes, Dallas, Houston, Canada is going to be 2 in Toronto and Vancouver, Mexico, Guadalajara.
Yeah. Guadalajara.
Mexico City. I wouldn't mind going to that one.
Mexico City. That's their big stadium, Estadio Azteca.
Right.
Aztec Stadium. Yeah.
Let me see if I could get a big one.
Okay. And I used to be really good with the stadium names, but because they commercialized them, I've lost track now.
Oh, they're coming to New Jersey. Big news. If indeed most figure World Cup final will be played in one of the coasts, either New York, New Jersey, MetLife. Oh, that's going to be dope.
Okay.
Or LA SoFi Stadium. There were concerns that those venues apparently in size, temperatures, middle of the summer, blah, 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 blah. This is not telling me nothing that I want to see. How many stadiums are in? Is it 16? But I want a list. What cities? Give me a list. Okay. Is this the list? All right. So US, they are coming. Okay. So they're going to be at MetLife, Philadelphia. So I could go to 2. I could go to the MetLife and the one in Philadelphia. They're going to be San Francisco, Bay Area, Seattle, Miami, Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Los Angeles. Listen, that's going to be crazy. To me, I don't know. That's just too crazy. Mexico. See, this Mexico City one is going to be dope.
I'm going to try to hit the Atlanta games and possibly Houston or, possibly Houston.
Atlanta, Houston. Oh my God. That's going to be crazy. I think that's going to be even more crazier than New York.
Yeah. But I got to look at the schedule and see where everybody's playing though. That's the other thing too. Because I'm going to have to move around.
Right. Because I want to know who's playing over here in New York, New Jersey, and even in Philadelphia. Because again, I'm going to be rooting for the African teams, and Senegal better be in the 2026. Mexico City, that would just be cool just to be in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these places I would go because of some of them, not a lot, because of the city itself and all the stuff that's going to be going on. So. And then 2, okay, so let's just take New York, right? And that's going to be in the summer. So New York in the summer, especially in August, you have the US Open. Oh my God, that's a beautiful stadium. Like it's always something buzzing to do in New York City. So I'm wondering if this is going to be like, if this is in July going into August, so you're going to have the World Cup, you're going to have the US Open. There's going to be a lot of parties and stuff going on in New York. This is going to be popping. Philly is cool. It's easy for us tri-state areas to just hop on a train and come down to Philly.
Yeah.
I'm not messing with Atlanta because Atlanta is like what New York used to be. It's crazy. Dallas will probably be more organized and not overwhelming. Houston, nope, because that's like another New York. It's like Atlanta, New York, Atlanta and Houston's like the same as far as just saturated. Miami is probably going to be because then you have the Latina community down there.
Yeah,
I don't really.
In Los Angeles, that's going to be the the big Coliseum down there in LA. So that's where they're going to play that one.
Kansas City is going to be a big one because every time the big, whether it's Olympics or the World Cup, men or women, Kansas City is like the main hub in the United States for soccer. So this is they're probably going to have all the good primetime major games in Kansas City. Definitely. Who cares about Canada too much?
I would probably look at just off of location, Atlanta, Dallas, and Houston, because I'm willing to do the drive from Atlanta to Dallas or Houston.
But you don't live in the United States.
I'm coming back for that. I go back and forth to the United States all the time.
You're not going to go to Mexico City because that's closer to you.
Maybe, possibly, but because part of it too is actually bringing my wife in and seeing part of the United States.
Okay. So when you come in, you're going to be hitting the Dallas, Houston, Atlanta?
Probably, because we're going to fly into Atlanta probably, so we'll be there for that. Okay. But then again, the other part of it, because I'm looking for primetime games too in those areas. Now, I may or may not be at the final, but I mean, I'm going to be at several games. So yeah, we're definitely linking up for that. That's going to happen. I've already got the World Cup plans for 2022, and we really shouldn't be looking ahead that far, but at any rate, I'm already thinking about that one. And what I want to try to do is go to World Cups and Super Bowls and stuff like that, and start putting that in the rotation, because we're getting older, and those opportunities are coming fewer and far between. And I've been fine watching it on TV, or just kind of being in and around it and all this other stuff, but I want to actually be live and in person. More.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me see something here. Portugal, North Korea is. Wait. Because I'm starting. Let me just go back to the scoreboard. Portugal. Oh, so they're both in.
South Korea and Portugal.
Yeah, even though. So why did they even play each other? They're both was going. Oh, I guess South Korea had to win in order to.
Yeah, because you still got to complete the group play, because again, it goes off the number of points and then the point differential, and then they start breaking it down 4 more ways as to who gets in based if there's no difference in those 2 first tiebreakers.
Yeah. Okay, so it's 2 spots left, so it has to be the winner out of these 2. So I don't know. I'm rooting for Brazil, and I mean, I kind of want Cameroon, but if Cameroon was coming to play and Brazil plays lackadaisy again, then I'm definitely want Cameroon to go all the way. I definitely want Switzerland to go through, but I'm rooting for anything African team. Period.
Yeah. So I mean, I understand. I get it. So they're probably. Look, they're not ready to win right now.
Who?
If they start taking it African teams, and the overall thing, as it relates to your question, can they win a World Cup? They're not going to win it right now. Maybe not in the next one, but if they get the organization and the other stuff squared away to the point where you clear that up and get the right types of coaches and players in there, and actually hold on to their top level folks, which they can identify, by the way, at a young age. And then pay them the money, and then give them the benefits and the privileges and the status that goes along with being a high level player, international player at that level. Then those people they will want to stay. I mean,
you have to do that, and then it's a lot of.
I'm down here in Central America, and if you are on a national team, you get the rock star treatment out here. You get the benefits, you get the privileges. There's something that comes along with a special talent for something that the country really admires.
Okay.
And you can say, oh well, that's fair or not fair. Yeah, but the dude has to earn that position.
People in the United States too. Yeah, they roll out the red carpet because that brings.
They got to earn those positions. So it's not like they're being handed that. Now, along with that comes the expectation of you got to win. That's the other part of it too. Like there's that demand is placed on you, and you got the weight of the entire country riding on your shoulders.
But it is a fair exchange, because if I'm giving you all these perks at the same time, though, that player is bringing in money, marketing, advertisement, notoriety. So it is a fair exchange. So I think African teams, those African countries, they do need to get it together And
Yeah, if they get up on that and do those things and do what everybody else is doing and keep their people with them, then they'll do that. There's something to be said for being a standout player and on the African continent. By the way, it's kind of like so. I'll interject. Deion Sanders and Travis Hunter a bit. You understand? Are you familiar with that situation? Travis Hunter was a number one football recruit in the country. Deion Sanders got him down to Jackson State. He was supposed to go to Florida State. Mm-hmm. And Florida State is upset because Deion Sanders got him. And they were like, well, why would you go to the HBCU and this, that, and the third? Like, hey, he's playing with his people. And on top of that,
you're playing, you have Deion Sanders coaching you.
Yeah, there's a thing with that, but he actually gets more perks and benefits and status as a player at Jackson State than he will get at FSU, whether they're winning or not. He's a small fish in a big pond. J State, he's a start, and he's proven himself to actually be worthy of that choice worthy of the status that he had as a number one recruit in the country. Like that dude he's playing both ways. He's catching the ball. He's intercepting the ball. He's running it back for touchdowns. He's got all purpose. He's got AP yards, all purpose yards. That dude is balling. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's a legit baller. And a couple more years, or he's probably going to do maybe one, probably two more. To kind of get his size up and everything else and get solidified. But he's going to be an NFL prospect coming out of J State. He's going to put J State on the map.
But it's like
where HBCUs need to be.
But it's like if Deion Sanders was even with another college and he wanted you, I'm coming because of Deion.
There you go. That's what the African players have to do. I mean, the African teams have to do. African countries have to do. And again, I'm not trying to tell them what to do. I'm just saying if they do those things, then you sell it to them that way. And on top of that, Deion knew how to talk to his people. He's like, these are my people. What are you talking about? Why wouldn't I benefit from the talent of my own folks? These are homegrown folks.
But I wonder those African players that play or that has African lineage that are playing, because a lot of them were born in Europe, but still those players that have African lineage playing for the European teams, they know the inside politics of those African countries. So, and I think that's why they're like, nah, dude, I'll pass. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't have to struggle with that, and I get it.
Yeah, and it's just like they know probably the bullshit, too many cons than pros. They, and it's government too. It's not, a lot of those African countries is Black people here want to think of Africa as this utopia. It's really not, because that the government don't care about their people. They don't have unemployment, Social Security, universal health care. They don't have that in a lot of those countries. Like you really have
but do we have that really though? Do we have that?
Like we pay taxes, it goes into Social Security. I'm just talking about basic being a citizen.
I get you what you're talking about. Yeah,
just being
like the general programs that everybody benefits from. I'm just saying that Black people have that same problem too. And while you're on that topic, I'm gonna go ahead and, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and talk about Tyler Adams. Did you see the interview where he was asked that question about race and racism and discrimination in the United States? Tyler Adams, he's on the USA team.
Oh, with the curly hair?
Yeah, the curly. Yeah.
I think he was mixed. Oh, like
he's biracial. He's biracial. He's biracial. And now, real quick thing with biracials, some of them identify only as biracial. Others of them identify as both biracial and Black.
Not in a race. But anyway, but what did he say?
Okay, so he said that the Iranian reporter asked him, Iranian reporter asked him about, so do you feel comfortable? The question was, do you feel comfortable representing a team that mistreats their own Black citizens to the point of with all the racism and discrimination and everything that and how Black people are treated? And then he answered the question in a generic and neutral way, so it's not bring shame and dishonor to the United States. But he did answer the question, but he didn't, he didn't take that point to actually be critical of the U.S.
What's his name again?
Tyler Adams. He's a biracial dude. White. One of his parents is white. Nothing wrong with that. Having a white parent, nothing wrong with that. But I mean, because he said he grew up in a white family. That's the one thing I was kind of confused. He said he grew up in a white family. Like, Is the family white, or was he adopted? That's the one thing I didn't drill down on.
I don't know.
Was he adopted, or did he just grow up with a primarily white
This is it.
side of his family versus the black side of his family? But yeah, he answered and he said, hey, basically the issue that I have with his answer is that he said the United States is continuing to make progress. I don't like that answer. That's not it's a neutral answer. So that way he doesn't get in trouble with, he's not taking any sides.
Yeah, let me play this.
Now, the other game in England's World Cup group tomorrow will be USA against
Federation's decision not to use the Islamic Republic of Iran on their social media, the flag on their social media post. That was from the USA captain.
This question is for you. My name is Mila Javamardi from Press TV. First of all, you say you support the Iranian people, but you're pronouncing our country's name wrong. Our country is named Iran, not Iran. Please, once and for all, let's get this clear. Second of all, are you okay to be representing a country that has so much discrimination against Black people in its own borders? And we saw the Black Lives Matter movement over the past few years. Are you okay to be representing the US? Meanwhile, there's so much discrimination happening against Black people in America.
My apologies on the mispronunciation of your country. Yeah, that being said, there's discrimination everywhere you go. One thing that I've learned, especially from living abroad in the past years and having to fit in different cultures and kind of assimilate into different cultures, is that in the U.S. we're continuing to make progress every single day. Growing up for me, I grew up in a white family with obviously an African American heritage and background as well. So I had a little bit of different cultures, and I was very very easily able to assimilate in different cultures. So not everyone has that ease and the ability to do that, and obviously it takes longer to understand. And through education, I think it's super important. Like you just educated me now on the pronunciation of your country. So. Yeah, it's a process. I think as long as you see progress, that's the most important thing.
So some tough questions there.
All right. Yeah.
So do you have any issues with that answer? It's a good response. So that way he doesn't upset anybody either way.
Yeah. So I respect the response, but my thing is, his mom must be white, so he grew up with his mother in his mother household. And then of course, I guess if his father was in his life, maybe the father taught him about the Black side, and maybe the mom too. So yeah, you're in the middle of the World Cup, if you want to sit up here and say you support the protesters of Iran, then you can't sit up here and call out another country. You're not willing to call out your own. So he gave a political correct answer. And this is why
by the way, he was trained to do that.
Yeah, of course, but you should be, because if especially if you're not prepared for whatever backlash, but at the same time, this is why politics need to stay out of sports, because now you're putting players on the spot. Like, I come here to play and I come here to win and I come here to be the best. That's what I do for a living. That's my passion. You sacrifice so much. I'm not going to sacrifice my time, my body, and everything else, you know what I'm saying, just so I could be so political on a platform, but doing something that I love to do, which is playing sports. So again, if I'm going to point out Iran, then you need to point out your own country. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's the perfect opportunity to do it. But again,
he technically did identify that there's a problem. Now, what was it? But it's not that he didn't criticize the United States.
I think the problem, though, is the fact that, I'm glad that reporter corrected him, because basically what that reporter was getting at is, don't critique us. You know what I'm saying? Because we handling our own. Critique yourself. And also, what I would have said to that reporter, this is not the 60s. I would have brought up the two sports players from the Olympics that stood up, and I can't believe I forgot their name, but they're
John Carlos and Tommy Smith. Yes. 1968, Mexico City.
Listen, and I think with what we're doing today in 2023.
And of course, Ali, by the way.
Yeah, especially with that young generation, with the young generation today, what we're doing is, the fact is that This is not that time. They sacrificed that so that you don't have to deal with it. That player did not experience any type of discrimination. So, is there discrimination in this country right now? No. Is there an economic disparity? Yes, but whatever disparities that Black America today is facing, it is something that we have to fix within our community, within ourselves.
You don't think there's discrimination in America
Against who?
against Black Americans?
In what sense?
In the sense that there are systemic issues that actually play out that negatively affect Black men particularly.
Which systemic issues?
The criminal justice system, in the sense that we have laws that are not equally applied to all races. That's a systemic issue. That's discrimination.
That's our system, and our laws is our law. So if you want to change the law, that's legislation, right?
No. The laws.
And then we're talking about on a state level, because state and federal is separate. This is, we're not talking about the federal justice system. We're talking about state. So on a state level, you know, those same laws applies to all backgrounds. What people are misconstruing, what people get mixed up, is the fact that, is it true that when a Black person does the same crime as a white person, that Black person may get a harsher or longer punishment? Yeah. But the system is corrupt for everybody. Make no mistake about it. If you have money, no matter what your skin color is, you good. You're not today in 2023. If you have money, you're not going to feel the effects of a poor person, no matter what color you are. And
Kyle Rittenhouse didn't have a whole lot of money. That dude got off for doing what he did.
No, Kyle Rittenhouse got off for doing what though?
He got off with actually, you know, going out trying to cause trouble and problems, and a lot of things that he. Okay, so he got away with actually not being able to be charged with all the stuff that a Black person would have been charged with.
Well, we don't know if a Black person would have been charged with that, because there are a lot of things that Black people do in certain states and cities that they get off. They get it slapped on a hand as well. But that was publicized. And again, what state was that in? What are they gun laws in that state? Was he the aggressor, or was he defending himself? So
he got off on the self-defense. No issue or problem with that. I don't have any issue or problem with that. The issue was all the stuff that all the laws that he broke en route to actually, you know, defend himself.
What laws did he break?
Well, he crossed state lines. He was underage. He got a weapon that he shouldn't have had, and his parents didn't have positive control of it.
Gun, but in that state that he went to, what are their gun laws? Is it just lenient? It's just as lenient as the other state. And this is what I'm saying. See, again, the problem with Black America today, you have this victimization, right, of yesteryear, but the difference is from the 60s and earlier. The difference is when they were the victims, but they actually took action to rectify it. Today, you're just playing victim, and you're not doing anything productive to rectify it. There are things to do to rectify it. First of all, it's not as bad. It's not.
That's the first thing. I will agree with you on that. That's the first thing I'll agree with you on that. So, but I would say that Black people, there's things that Black people could do individually and collectively that has nothing to do with racism.
First of all, I'm not jumping out that window with Black people with that. If you are not getting up off your ass and making your community better, meaning participating in the science of politics locally, I'm not jumping out that window with you about racism and discrimination in 2023. Because listen, white people, I will say this with as far as white people are starving. White people are starting to be treated like shit. And when they start treating white people like shit, this government, then you gotta understand it's going to be worse for us. Because first of all, we're already behind when it comes to generational wealth. When it comes to income wealth, we're already behind. So if they're being treated like shit, and this country was built for them, and this country was built for the white woman, what makes you think? What do you think is happening to Black Americans? But why are you still harping on some goddamn racism when it's a whole bunch of other stuff? And again, you have too many resources, too much access. what are you doing? Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
I would agree with you on that. I wouldn't argue against you on that. I just understand that despite all of that, there are systemic issues in place. Now, what I would say as a black person, black man specifically,
Yeah.
I would say as a black man, you need to understand what those issues are, so that way you don't get caught up.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. So I will say this:
you got to understand where the roadblocks are, so you can navigate those roadblocks appropriately, so you don't get caught up. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, and if you do, you're subject to the systemic issues that are in place based on race.
Well, when you look at the young people today, come on, Kevin. When you look, are they even fucking aware? Even as the young black men today, or black boys or black males today, they're not even aware what the hell is the actual goddamn problem, what to look for. You can't take action. You can't do anything.
That's what fathers are for. That's what fathers are for. That's what community centers are for. That's where when men are talking and having these conversations. And I'm not leaving the women out, because women, by the way, actually have played an outstanding role and done things historically very well as it relates to the civil rights movement and the Black Power movements. So you guys have contributed as well. It's just a lot of times the men are the face of it. But you're right. But you're right. Now in the 21st century, there's been a transition from male leadership to female leadership with the BLM and all this other stuff and everything else. So you have an argument of point to that.
Yeah, and that was systemically done. But again, so it's something that is wrong with Black America today. But it's not that civil rights movement problem. Like, and this is
but this is going to come up though. I'm telling you, in 2026, that question that Tyler Adams was asked is going to come up in 2026. If America doesn't say again,
that question is going to be overloaded. Why? Because we're talking about the media. The media makes money off of Black suffering. The media makes money off of social justice inequalities. They make shit up. That Black Lives Matter, the Tamika Mallory's, all these fake ass Black organizations, they make up shit to play on your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And then Black people are emotional, and then you believe what they're saying is true. But if you actually just take a step back and examine where you live at, who's in charge,
your life decisions,
who's making the decisions, are you having any say so, or are you just voting? You see what I'm saying? When you start, you look behind the fucking curtain. That's when you start to see what exactly is going on and who's actually feeding you these lives, and it's really our own people selling us out.
I can agree with you on that. Now, and a counter to that though is, like I said, you still got to understand what the systems are, so that way you don't get caught up in the systems and things that's going to trip you up as a Black man or a woman. Understand what it is. Understand your operational environment. And I'll tell you this, Dana, and and I didn't mean to take it away from the topic here. But it does play into the politicization of this entire World Cup, because it's going to Qatar 2022 has now made the World Cup a political issue. All right. It's been blown to smithereens. So now everything after this is going to be, you can go to every country now and you're going to find political issues and problems. But I would say that if I had to make a list of 10 things that Black people need to do, racism, white supremacy, white people, extremism, all of that stuff wouldn't even be on the list. It's more of individual behaviors that would actually counter some of the systemic issues that are being placed and exerted on Black people intentionally. That's how you counter that. That's how you win. That's how you beat the system.
No, you're absolutely right. Listen, I think actually we're going to do this live on my other main channel, and then I'm just going to chop it up and upload it on this one. Yeah. What are you doing Sunday? Because I do want it, and I think this topic is a good topic to have on my channel, because I do talk about more current events and social justice stuff. Are you available Sunday?
Yeah. I don't think we're going to church Sunday. We did a lot this week, so I don't think we're going to church on Sunday. But even if we do, I can do it after church. But for the most part, I'm probably going to be available. I'm just kind of following the football season. Say again.
Give me times that
you're in the evening. I would say somewhere between 2 to 4, somewhere between 2 to 6. But I mean in the evening. That way, if we go to church, then we're covered, and then that way we come on home, and I'll because I do, like, I try to balance my time online with the family, You know, I don't try to. They got their own schedule. That's the other thing. That's a good thing. They do their own thing away from me, but that's how I interact and do what it is I do over here.
Okay.
People always go, you need to get offline. You're online a lot and all this. I'm like, no. Yeah, like I was literally just at my daughter's graduation. We got some nice photos, family event, very wonderful thing. Yeah, all that stuff. So yeah, you know, people think, you know, other people are working. That's the other thing too. I'm living in a whole different country. I don't work while I'm here. I got residual income. I got time. You see all these books. I got to get through all these books. You know, I read my academic papers. You know, I focus on Black issues, and that's one of the things I'm actually looking at. You know, and I haven't made a final decision, but I have laid the groundwork to actually start a channel so I can, you know, talk about Black issues, Black problems, Black culture, Black history, and kind of tighten some things up, and just be another added voice out there in the atmosphere.
Where did you grow up at?
In the United States. I was born in Florida. Born and raised, graduated high school, all of that stuff.
No, you don't have an accent.
No. Well, you know, so yeah, I'm from Florida, and product of a Florida education. They didn't teach me everything I learned, but the other part of it too. Now I'm gonna tell you where I got my real education in the military, moving around the world, doing my work for the military. So when you join the military, you get politics, you get religion, you get culture, you get language, you get tactics, strategy, you get history. You know, you get a lot. You get a lot when you go into the military. And if you do it right, you literally transition from, young adulthood or, being a boy, and they turn you into a man. They help turn you into a man. You take with those lessons what you will. If you learn the lessons properly, you become an outstanding, productive, contributing, law-abiding, wonderful member of society. I would argue that Black people are probably more patriotic than any other group. Some people will disagree.
Definitely, we are.
But you can argue that we're the most patriotic group in America based on the history.
Well, how about let's save this for Sunday. Email me Saturday to give me your time that that works for you. So I work around your schedule on Sunday, and we'll pick this up.
Okay, all right. But yeah, as it relates to the Africans winning a cup, like I said, it'll happen eventually, but not this year, probably not the next one. I could see it 2 cups from now, with a strong possibility if they weed out and do what it is and bring in the right players, get some things cleaned up. And again, I don't want to speak to the corruption and all the other stuff like that. But, again, it's more appropriate for somebody who's, African to kind of speak to the details of it. But we do know about the general things that they could fix up. They do that. I mean, they can run circles around some of these teams.
Yeah.
I mean, they can run circles around some of these teams.
I'm rooting for Senegal all the way. Go Senegal. So, all right. Thank you.
Yeah. And remember, if Africa does win the World Cup, all of Africa just won.
I know, right? We're going to claim it.
Africa just won.
We're going to claim it. I'll see you on Saturday, but don't forget to email me Saturday the times you're available.
All right. Yes, ma'am. All right.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Hey, thanks for bringing me up. Appreciate you.
All right. Same here. Thank you, guys. My 3 people that were watching Mia Musa. So, all right. So I realized, listen, I'm going to go back to the Real Dana and do this live on that, and then just upload on this channel. I really have to get it together with this channel. I really do. I have not been putting up any content. So I have to dust off the books, dust this channel off, and get it together. But thank you guys for tuning in. Please subscribe, please share this video, and I will be on the Real Dana Live Sunday talking more World Cup, more sports and politics, intertwining the two. It's great conversation, and Kevin will be back. All right. Thank you guys. See you. Have a good day.